Captain's log, Stardate 14. We are being pulled towards a hostile planet. I'm hoping that Scotty will be able to activate the backup control systems. God, I feel so vulnerable.
Captain, I'm picking up some strange signals. Something about intergalactic oppressors, sir.
Captain, intruders are approaching the bridge, sir. Who are you?
I am the Minister Louis Farrell.
Spock, who is he?
A former Calypso singer, Captain, who later became leader of a 20th century African-American religious sect known as the Nation of Islam.
Like to buy some incense.
Be you found my button? No, thank you.
What do you want?
I've come to warn your crew. Warn your crew of their enslavement.
Enslaved?
Aboard this vessel.
That's polygon. These people are perfectly free to do anything they want.
Now, what's interesting, when you look at this, you see that when you look at this, you see that it's familiar. 35,000. 35,000. Guess who uploaded this March video? The Hebrew Israelites. Not realizing, not recognizing we are all Moors. We are all Moors. What is it going to take? This is not something new that these people have an agenda against certain people. This is bigger than people and their channels. It's bigger than some YouTube channels. Trust that. This is only to get the message there faster. Playing around in virtual, and then the world's going to crap. And as that was happening, there are some people that they weren't taking it from that perspective that it was gone to crap. They were taking that, damn, stuff's getting better. People are waking up. We've been there and we woke up. We were in that place of the lower self, of the mind. We were once there as Moors. This is why we can use Holy Day to get this message out of what Noble Drew Ali presented and why he did it. And how come some people sold that out? How come some people committed treason? Islam to Brother Yusuf channel for reminding them that one, Noble Drew Ali said enforce the Constitution, and two, the Europeans are going to tell you the truth. You got Europeans telling you.
Yep.
And still playing this game. of we're a victim of somebody did something, opposed to us straight correcting ourselves. So the victimization would stop. How about just correct yourself? Don't worry about the people who are victimizing you. How come you're staying in a victim position, knowing that there are people that are looking for victimizers, for them to victimize? You're willingly staying in a dead status? You're in the dead status and then complaining about the conditions, and this people did something and that people did something, but never look at self and see that it's always our own, and also the level that we also play ourselves.
Yep.
Because they've known. You think they put something in some living color show and this is funny, people are laughing, that they're not telling you some true history? You know, I wasn't happy with those skits, because that forces hand. You have to remember that anything from 1930 that was for the liberation of so-called black people, in it had its own little lodge, whatever. That unless you're in the circle of the high people, you're not even getting what you're supposed to get. This is just here to play. And they've been playing them. No different than these people playing people, telling them university, and they learn nothing about what's going on within themselves, the universe. And then when you look at, when Asiatics had schools, though, you learned within and without knowledge. You didn't just learn one paragraph. I mean, you had to go to school 40 years if you want to be anybody. What, 8 years? What, 8 years what? Ain't nothing. There's all the other stuff. How much stuff did they take away from the curriculum? Have us dumbed down how we are right now, that we can't see basic fraud going on in our face. And treason. Again. There was always reference to everybody knowing what's up. Sylvester A. Johnson, African American Religions, 1500 to 2000. Colonialism, Democracy, and Freedom. Page 319. Beginning in the 1930s, the FBI began repressing African American Muslims, specifically the Moorish Science Temple of America. J. Edgar Hoover was first alerted to the Moorish Science Temple's status as a racial threat by a report from the FBI's Philadelphia field office, which presented findings from its covert operations of the group. In 1931, during the early phase of covert surveillance, an FBI field agent interviewed under false pretenses J.T. Bay, an African-American barber who led the MSTA membership in Reading, Pennsylvania. So keep in mind their timeline is 1931. No, they already have the black agents in place since 1930. As far as if you go check King Alfred Plan and the whole concept of keeping the people a minority, keeping them in the black mindset. And throw some other things in there, and that's what certain people push. In 31 now, they're saying, now we're going to start investigating Moorish Science Temple. So, which means that the sellouts already did their job, Noble Drew Ali out of the way. So if they're saying Moorish Science Temple, and you're talking 1931, and surveillance, you know that as far as the covert operations that's going on, the FBI themselves are talking to Moors, but then calling them African American, and making it appear like this is about some membership like any other black group. When this is not about membership. If you're a member of the Moorish Science Temple of America, it's because you have a nationality, not because you're a member of Moorish Science Temple. All members must say who they are. So you have to have your nationality to be a member. The agent had already questioned Bay's landlord, a woman who rented to African American boarders. Bay innocently enough informed the undercover agent of the movement's proper name. The FBI had referred to them as the Moorish Shrine Temple. So when they realized that, hold on a second, these aren't some black Masonic whatever, and the agent let them know what it really was as far as the proper name. Explained the fundamental aim of their faith, recovering their Moorish heritage. Now, why would recovering your Moorish heritage be under surveillance by the FBI? In 1930s. What's the big deal? It's that word, more, that all the sellouts will not use, and they'll play games with you. They'll play games with you and make me wonder, I wonder if these people are agents, because it's kind of interesting how things happen. We have an organization that's under FBI surveillance, has informants, all because of recovering a Moorish legacy or heritage. There must be something going on. And if in 1931 they were infiltrating this, no wonder certain people got passes and still get passes today. because they've done their job very well of keeping the people in a civilly dead status. You know, like Cardi G. Woodson talk about, you know, the slaves making a door opposed to just using the door. There's a lot more.
I'm killing them right now, Gracie.
You straight? As Bay made clear, the MSTA, from its membership cards to its organizational practices, rejected the ideology of white supremacism and taught instead that Moorish peoples merited treatment on the basis of racial equality. Accordingly, converts were told that displaying their membership cards at local restaurants would ensure they received every courtesy and equal privilege with other races. So in 1931, there were nationality cards that Moors were using as ID. So why is it so hard for Moors to see that today? Because remember, just like today, when you're talking about they're reading some FBI report and some informant is coming and saying whatever, they don't know what level everybody's on behind the scenes. You know. So whatever information they give, they're taking out their bits and pieces for the report. So certain stuff they took out, like, you know, converts were told that displaying their membership cards would receive every courtesy and whatever like that. That might not have been members in that sense. That might have been just Moors, like what we got today, just active Moors. Who there's a particular restaurant people go to, and everybody knows that these Moors, they don't play like this is some club. Like I have a YMCA card, and I can go to every single place around here and just get some type of handout because, you know, YMCA is the head of the whatever. That's not where this is. They directly played infiltration with their own agents. Because the more that stayed true to this, kept this Moorish Holy Temple of Science and other jurisdictions of the Moorish hordes increasing that Noble Drew Ali was talking about. Because 2018, we're still here. After all the files or whatever that they got on Moorish Science Temple of America, Noble Drew Ali, whatever. The concept of reclaiming our Moorish heritage is still front burner, and it's an issue. Because Moors really are exercising their birthrights. No, not because of other than being what they know. But it shouldn't just be Moors. It should be all the other jurisdictions. Not just supposed to be us talking about nationality and birthrights. The FBI's own investigation furthermore confirmed that he derived his income from selling badges and robes to new converts. Despite this, the Bureau coordinated with the Illinois State Attorney General's office to intimidate Washington into silence by telling him he would be prosecuted by the U.S. government for obtaining money under false pretenses. Washington was overwhelmed by the idea of being targeted by the state of Illinois and federal government. Quite predictably, he agreed to stop seeking converts in exchange for avoiding imprisonment. In 1930, another organization, the Lost Foundation of Islam, emerged in Detroit as an offshoot of Moorish Science. In 1930, an organization, the Lost Foundation of Islam, emerged in Detroit as an offshoot of Moorish Science. Roughly 1 month before his untimely death, Drew Ali had appointed an energetic and ambiguous convert, David Ford L., as a Grand Sheikh and placed him in charge of the Chicago Mosque. The schismatic dissension that emerged in the wake of Ali's death turned violent, culminating in a standoff between several MSTA members and 1,000 members of the Chicago police. Ford L. pulled up roots and moved to Detroit, where he started the Allah Temple of Islam to rebuild the floundering MSTA community, changing his name to Wallace D. Fard. His efforts at renewal became the Lost Foundation of Islam, in line with the heritage theology of the MSTA. The Nation of Islam taught that Islam was the original religion of blacks.
Can I add on to that, Reggie?
Oh, Islam more. Go right ahead.
Islam. Because he was going in on 1930 with Farah Muhammad. We are all Moors. Anur Majid, page 80. It says, on the eve of Noble Drew Ali's death in 1929, W.D. Farah Muhammad, probably born to a man from East India, who would later become Pakistan, and an English woman on February 25th, 1891, in New Zealand, appeared in Chicago after having entered the United States via Canada, so-called illegally, in 1913, with an anglicized name, and having joined the Theosophical Society of San Francisco. Garbage UNIA, and once in Chicago, the Moorish Science Temple. I'm going to read that part again. Because they're speaking about W.D. Farah Muhammad, where it says he was part of the Theosophical Society of San Francisco, and Garbage UNIA, and once in Chicago, the Moorish Science Temple. Quote, while attending the Ahmadiyya Mosque on the city south side. When Farah Muhammad moved to Detroit in 1930, with its estimated 120,000 black people to peddle exotic clothes and such, Noble Drew Ali had passed away, and Farah Muhammad soon started preaching
to Noble Jew Ali's working class customers, establishing a movement of Muslims opposed to Noble Jew Ali's Muslims, which is Moors. Officially, the Lost Foundation of Islam, stressing consumer discipline, education, and strict dietary laws, and pride in one's origins, was founded on July 4th, 1930. But it will be Elijah Poole from Georgia, down on his luck in the cold, forbidden north, who would designate the mysterious Far Muhammad as God incarnate after meeting him in 1931. The following year, Far Muhammad was arrested on strange charges pertaining to followers' alleged sacrifice of another man. Then again in 1933 for disturbing the peace. In 34, Far left and abruptly as he had appeared in 1929, leaving behind Elijah Muhammad, as Elijah Poole was now known, to lead a fractious movement caught up in internecine conflict and division. Like, that stuff like amazes me. Nobody never told me, we went over this, but to hear like he was in the Moorish Science Temple of America, and then when the prophet died in 1929, he left with 120,000 of the prophet's people and started teaching them basically the same things, strict dietary laws and everything. Everything was still the same. He just, like the Grand Sheikh said before, he just took the sign down and put another sign up. There's no more Moors now. The Nation of Islam. No more no more nationality. No more none of that. And in the book too, it also talks about how Noble Jew Ali had IDs with Moroccan flags on them, and that was giving out nationality IDs with Moroccan flags on them. But I was wondering if the NOI, if they hand out nationality identifications, or do they hand out membership identifications? Because it just adds up. They took everything from the prophet, and what's bothering me now is now 100 years later, it's like people want to give like a pass for what has happened back then and just unify and get together and like brush that away. But even if you look at it like that in that way, them brushing it away, they still, it's not, okay, say we brush it away. They still saying we black. They still promoting the 14th Amendment. They're not doing nationality. We trying to say we have to have a nationality in order to do anything. If we're not honoring our forefathers and foremothers, we're not going to be able to do nothing. But the confusion is 1930 when they took 120,000 members and started switching it around. But then Farrakhan goes up there, makes a video, and puts Noble Jew Ali up there, but he doesn't go in and say, "Oh, we're not black people. We need to start calling ourselves that. We have to have a nationality." Explaining this is the Moroccan Empire, this is Morocco, United States is a corporation. The people be like, "Oh, he can't do that," but because they're gonna kill him or something like that. Okay, I love how the master teacher Abdullah said it. Okay, he made his choice. We can just leave it at that. He made his choice. We ain't gotta say nothing else about it. That's his choice. He wants to make that the choice of, I ain't gonna tell my people because they're gonna kill me, but I got this big old platform and I ain't gonna do it. I'm just gonna do the total opposite. All right, he made his choice. But in any other country, that's treason and he'll be hung for that. You can't do that. You can't sell your people out so the colonizer can keep So the colonizer can keep them in servitude while you getting little snippets of a materialistic life. While the rest of your people, if they knew who they were, they can live a prosperous life, just like you are, just like they are. But they're only doing it in the guise of privileges, 14th Amendment, because they're not telling the whole truth. So they make it seem like, oh, they'll kill him if he tells the truth. But okay, him not telling the truth is killing us. That's the problem. And then people wanting to unify with that. That's treason. That's treason what they committing. And you knowing what they doing is treason. And saying, yes, let's unify with that, that's conspiracy to treason. You can't do that. That's unlawful. The prophet said, enforce the Constitution. The penalty for treason is death, not unity. That don't make sense. That's why other countries laugh at us all the time, all day. Because we playing games with our birthright, trying to make somebody do something they don't want to do. They like the Moore said, I comprehend what y'all doing. Y'all have y'all place, y'all doing what y'all doing. But you don't add on to the lower self stuff over there. You see that's their mission, is to stay in their lower self. Why would you want to go over there with that? The prophet said, and I'm shortening, the prophet said, find you some Moors who doing good and help those Moors do more good. Not go find some dirty Moors and go help them do dirty Moor stuff. That's not what he said. It's that you're supposed to find Moors who are doing good and help them do good. Telling our people that they Negro, colored, black, and making videos, laughing about Moors and stuff like that, that's going against the nation. How are you unified with that? And plus, in Black Small Dictionary, 4th edition, the definition of unity, you have to have a nationality. That's in law. That's in law. Islam, Grand Sheikh. I'm going to use the floor on that one.
Islam, man. In addition to the heritage teachings of Moorish science, the Mohammeds also developed an account of racial origins that claimed Western colonialism and slavery were designed by divine beings, a cruel negotiation of sorts among powerful black gods to predestine racial rule by whites, which would be followed by eventual reawakening and empowerment of black people. This theology of black origins emphasized that blacks were the original people, members of the ancient tribe of Shabazz. As a divine race, they had once ruled the earth as gods, but their power and freedom had been betrayed by one of their members, Yaqub, who had developed a lighter-skinned white race whose destiny was to conquer and enslave the blacks for 400 years. The black divine race had originally inhabited Afro-Asia, where they practiced their original religion of Islam. But centuries of subjugation had erased from their memory knowledge of their true identity. Allah, one of the great black gods, has taken on the flesh and had come in the form of Wallace D. Fard to find them in the wilderness of America and return them to their own path. Thus, they were called the Lost Found Nation of Islam. And don't forget the succession of hierarchy that Wallace D. Fard went through. before he was put as, quote unquote, the master. Came up as David Ford L. Was deferred. Allah took on the flesh of Wallace D. Fard. No. If Allah take over the flesh of another man and didn't take over you, you must know some type of games going on. You must know it's time to topple over the table with the money changers. You have to know that.
Yep. Yep.
Right? Black gods, and you know that's how they talk too. 400 years of being enslaved. Black divine race.
Yep. Why not just stick to the core?
Right? Why tell you you're lost and found, which would make you indigenous, aboriginal. If you're lost and found, that means you are where you are. There's no lost and found nation around here. You agree that that's a nation? Lost and found is a nation. They know that it's Morocco. Oh, you know what? Let's just take a pause for the cause.
Yep. They know.
This is a fact. Period. We get where you're coming from, why you're saying that you're black, but that's some BS. We need to stop that now. It can't be that we're that still. In 2018, no way. It can't be that we're that. That can't be something still on the table as something for people to pick up, to say they're that. It is not an opinion. It's a fact. Period. It's a fact, period. Ask Moro. Moro tell you they don't even know what black people or white people is. Moro tells you that they know that morena is the standard of beauty. Not negra or none of that BS. Morena.
That's the grading.
Morena is the standard of beauty to the Moros. Oh. But you don't want to be Mars, though. You want to be everything else. And following after people trying to keep you in a dead status.
Now let's look at Noble Drew Ali. Here's a man that died a young man. Noble Drew Ali.
Now hold on, Green Sheep.
Yeah,
hold on. Now what? Now this first thing was. Now let's look at Noble Drew Ali. Okay. Now when they speak of Elijah Muhammad, they do the whole honorable, all of that. You know, put the titles in front of who he is.
Yeah.
But we just read clear information where all these people come from.
Their foundation.
Their foundation.
Yep.
Where they came from. And he got the man up there who the foundation is from. He knows that. Look, if we read it, I'm nobody. I'm nobody. I'm just useless. I'm not nobody. He's the guy. He should have all the literature, the study, and everything. He got it all. He's in the Islam nation of Islam thing. He knows. He clearly knows who Noble Drew Ali is, who the Prophet Noble Drew Ali is. But he gonna say Prophet Noble Drew Ali, because if he says Prophet Noble Drew Ali, it gets rid of the whole. It points at well, what's going on here? If he's the prophet, who's the honorable Elijah and all of that? If this guy is the prophet, like off rip, he already knows. I can't call him the prophet. I can call him Noble Drew Ali. I can't call him the prophet Noble Drew Ali. Took his whole title off. That's the whole point. The whole point is to put the prophet in front of the title. And he just took it straight off. Took it right off. And that was purposely done. He knows. He speaks very well. He knows that what he just did, that was purposely done. I yield the floor.
So,
1886 to 1929. I salute my brother. He's the first man to bring Islam to us in the way he tried to bring.
what do you mean the way he tried?
Yo, see that?
I mean the way he tried to do it. Like his program wasn't the program. Stop playing games. We already have the stuff to show that you know what's up. Yeah, we know this is we know this is old stuff. But like we always say, it's our own. If European wanted to, they'll blow the planet up and nobody have anything. So I ain't worried about some European. The ones of us that are assisting this European by keeping our people in a dead status is who's the problem.
In the way he tried. Oh my goodness. In the way he tried. So he failed. He's saying the prophet failed.
No, but again, he knows about the 120,000 members, so
Oh yeah.
You know.
And the way he tried.
Thank him. Thank Allah for him.
Only thing they changed, everything's the same. The whole foundation of this Nation of Islam comes from what the Moore Science Temple was doing since 1913.
Yep.
The whole foundation. Only thing they changed was y'all not Moors no more. Y'all black. That's all they changed. Y'all back to being black.
And take off those damn feathers.
Negro colored.
Yep.
That's all they changed. They didn't change. The whole foundation is still there. Everything the Moors was doing is still there. Still there. They're doing everything. Strict. The diet, the discipline, all of that. That's the prophet. But they just changed everything, put a new figure up there, you know, just like these other Moors do with their reincarnated prophets. They put another figure in there too. This is the craziness, like, because, like, yes, the unity is supposed to happen, but they have to have gotten there. Like, you see how us Moors, you see how we got our nationality? You see how we have it? Like, nobody has to go crazy and force you to be who we are and be like, nobody's going around, you have to be a Moor. Nobody's doing that to us because we just are who we are. Like, these people know they're Moors, and why we have to do all of this? Like, stop making those videos saying we black. Like, that's crazy. We shouldn't have to keep making these videos when these people know that we're not black. They don't guess it. They know we're not black. They know we Moors. But we got to keep making. So it's not like we're the ones, we're the problem. They're the problem. Tell them to stop making treasonous videos trying to sell our people back into slavery. Like, people looking, like, look what's, like in real life, like, I know these videos, like, it affects, like, my son, when he tries to explain to other children who he is and, you know, he's not black and stuff like that, my son got thick skin. He knows what's going on. But I hear them. Like, I hear the conversation. They call my son a racist. People that look just like my son call my son a racist because of the sellout that's going on right now. So the babies are suffering because these people keep coming on here making these sellout videos, and now their parents teaching their babies, you know, black power. Your black skin is beautiful, like, and then now my son's on the bus trying to teach the little ones like that's wrong, but little girls be on there, oh, he's racist. Like, what? Because of the sellouts that's going on. This ain't no like his own. My son 10. He shouldn't. Little 10, 11-year-olds call my son racist.
That's the
Like,
Jade Elliott right there, yo. That's Jade Elliott right there.
Calling my son racist while he's trying to tell him, like, yo, I'm not black. Like, my skin is not black, clearly. Like, we have a nationality, our bloodline. 10 years old trying to explain to them, and they still doing just like their parents do. Don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
Got their, you know, but some of them do get it. But some of the children, their mom or dad already got them. And then when I hear, because my son will come home and Goddess was calling me a racist. I said, what's her name? Goddess. I said, I already know who her parents are. I already knew. Her parents are at home promoting black power. Your daughter's name is Goddess. You're at home doing the black power games. I already know. You're at it. So she's calling my son racist on the bus because of the sellout. Like, her parents don't know, you know, what's going on. Somebody probably told them that we're Moors. But the people who they following and listening to and studying from, the so-called black scholars and their books and the nation and whoever they're listening to, they selling them out. Because now their children is on the bus calling my son a racist, who's trying to explain to them, no, it's in the dictionary. Like, the stuff you're saying don't even make sense. But because of the major sellout that's in our own people, it's other sleepy Moorish children are calling my son a racist. Like, I kept that to myself for, like, it bothered me, but I kept it to myself because I knew why. So I couldn't, like, what am I, go yell at this child, stop calling my son I know the reason why you're calling my son a racist. I know exactly why. Because it's not your fault, you're a child. You're a child. You're getting that. Just like my son, he's getting taught at home dictionaries and stuff, so he goes out there and he's being able to speak correctly. Her parents, they not doing what we're doing at home because they getting to sell out whatever. They keeping it going. And sometimes they even know that we're Moors and they sell their children out still. Like, or put them in some pre-Freemasonry thing where it starts off in middle school. So they're breeding their children to be Prince Hall children, Prince Hall men or daughters of ISIS women when they get older. They get them when they're young. Already preparing their children to sell out when they get older. They know the sellout is very real. But then Moors who study just like me, who know the same thing I know, everything I just said, think we should forget about that part and just unify with them. Like, that's crazy. When that's the problem. Europeans come on here, they make videos where Moors and enforce the Constitution, and the land being Morocco, and the Shriners stole the Moorish says. Europeans doing this. They're not committing the treason. It's our own that's doing it, that's coming on here talking about we got bucket hats on. Like, it's frustrating, Green Sheep.
Get it out, boy. Get it out.
It's frustrating. It's just frustrating. Because, you know, I love my son, man. I love him to death. You know what I mean? I look at it and I'm like, yo, you shouldn't have to go through what you go through. You know what I mean? Like I can go through that because I'm an adult. Like, I can go through that. But, like, I don't want my son to have to go grow up and go get no license and all of that. But the people in this community who's on the board of whatever here, it's all Prince Hall Mason Asiatics who's on the board selling out. But they all, the sellout is major. It's major. It's all around selling out. All around. I get the frowned upon looks from sleepy people, some sleepy Moors who I think sleepy, but I already know you probably in some Prince Hall, daughters of ISIS. They frown me looks. But when the European sees me, you're not a Muslim, you're a Moor. European. My own, you can't be wearing that. That's all the time. It's frustrating. And for Moors who study in depthly to think that that's all right and not enforce the Constitution on them who's committing treason, that's crazy. That's crazy. I think a lot of us need to start reevaluating how we going about what we looking at right now. It's just crazy what's going on. You know what I mean, Green Sheet? It's just crazy. I see a lot going on that shouldn't be going on. You know, like I read the prophet's teachings and I'm like, man, he said, you know, simple things. I bring you everything you need to save a nation. I take you to save yourself. But everybody's looking for somebody for help too. Oh, where's the this? Where's the that? He just told you, I bring you everything you need. He just told you, I bring you everything you need. But then you still want, well, where's the this? Where's the that? What's wrong with y'all?
Yeah, straight.
Well, where's this? Like, he told you, I bring you everything you need. Now take it and save yourself. We still looking for more things. Like, no. He didn't. He gave you everything you needed.
Not happy what we have.
That go back to that what you said yesterday about the freedom. They get a little bit of freedom, but they want the whole freedom. Like, I want the whole. Oh, we can claim mansions and all of that now. Like, no, no, you're not.
Too much, too fast, or
You're not.
drowning.
You're not.
Yeah.
Going to unify with people who don't want us to have our nationality, who don't want us to get our state back, to unify with the people like that, that's a step backwards. That's a step backwards. We're not moving forward, getting our stuff together, going back that way. We see what Black does. Being part of Black, we see what that does. They've been doing it for years now. Being part of that in any type of way is a no-no. It should be the other way around. It should be like, okay, we see Moors, they live on their principles, they doing this, but they'll look for every little thing that the Moors not doing, and then be like, well, see, we can still be Black. No. You the Moor. You gotta be the one to do the work. You're the Moor.
Straight. You're the Moor.
You're the Moor. You're the one. It took what's the brother's title? Brother Latif. He had a perfect example of a council court situation, and how he had, like, and you was saying the same thing the other day. Basically, like, it's us, the people. They go around, like if something happened and we all get together, because he said, like, they had kidnapped him. He sent out some emails to different Moors. They sent out more emails and stuff like that. He goes to court. Magistrate don't even show up to court. He said that's the council court, not the building. And I got the channel and all of that. That's not what it's about. And it reminded me too, because when they say, well, where's the Moors army? The European, you go to the Yusuf channel with the treason. The European breaks it down perfectly. According to the Constitution, the militia is the people. The militia ain't no selected group of soldiers or whatever. No. The militia is the people. It's the people. The Wisdom Moors army is the people. According to the Constitution, prophets and enforce the Constitution. We still going around talking about, well, where's the such and such? Where's the such and such? The militia is the people. Enforce the Constitution. But we want to play kumbaya with people who are doing treason. No, that don't work like that. Enforce the Constitution as soon as they commit treason. They got to stop playing these games. They playing games. That's why our baby's going to go through the same thing again. Same cycle again. Baby's going to go right through it again. Same thing again. Baby's going to go right through it. Because the somehow is that real.
It's that real. And they've been on some sellout. It's not just something new, just starting. Be aware. That's that's all. Be aware. Because you know how certain people's energy, if you're a newbie, Yeah, you'll fall for it. You'll get played by some people just because you're a newbie. The majority of people who are new to this frame of mind think there's something for them when they say there are more. They think that there's something that they're going to get in their hands. Then that's how most time you get played. Because you're looking for something in your hand to be what you're supposed to be. Have it backwards. Be where you're supposed to be first, then. It's not like these people just sold out. People are admitted to getting people assassinated and all that. Still saying, and talking about some unity. And keep in mind the infiltration of the Moorish Science Temple of America and infiltration of all these other organizations is something real. But there's one thread that runs through all of it. Two, Marcus Garvey and Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Drew Ali and Garvey are the thread running through the conscious whatever. There's no talk about the Garvey thread. They'll talk about or they don't talk about the Noble Drew Ali thread. They'll talk about Garvey every day out there. Rep him hard. When I talk about Noble Drew Ali, people questioning stuff. Again, because of the setup and how they were taught as to what it is and who Noble Drew Ali is.
The only question in the black part. That's it. They don't question nothing else. Just us calling ourselves black or Moors. They love everything else the Prophet brought. You know, the diet, the discipline, the love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. They love everything. The principle. They love all of that the Prophet brought. They just don't like the part when he says we're not negro colored black or Moors. That's the only thing they don't like. That's the part they don't like. That's the only thing they don't agree with. So then when they say, right, when they try to play that, you know, some of the things Noble Drew Ali didn't bring was all correct. And no. You know what you mean by that. It's just the black part. You know it ain't nothing else. It's nothing else y'all don't agree with. Just the black stuff. Just as soon as we say we're not black, and black, according to science, means that's the only thing they start getting upset about. That's it. They agree with everything else the Prophet brought. They totally agree with that. I'm not gonna let them off the hook with that. Everything you didn't bring was correct. No. That's not what they mean by that. They just don't agree with it. Noble Drew Ali saying that we're Moors. That's the only thing that they don't agree with. They can't find nothing else they don't agree with Noble Drew Ali's teachings. Nothing.
Yeah. I just don't know why they don't stick to the program, and because I just see it as openly causing confusion. You know, like it's really that serious that you have to play, not have a nationality. When again, like we say, people in the background who got nationality, saying that they're Eller Bay or something. Watch, be mindful. Energy works crazy. Do not play with the forces. Do not play with the forces The time right now is right. Take advantage. Don't get played. We're just going to say this because I don't want to play it and hex ourselves or whatever. But remember, certain people came out making mockery, more videos, you know, actually recording some BS, trying to make Moors look like some BS. And then all of a sudden they get shut down on their YouTube and stuff like that. So this is not about some YouTube. This is bigger than that. Always remember. Because if it was really real, certain people would give you the office at Mos Miriam to go do your podcast. If it was really real, that's how real it would get. If it gets that real, remember we told you here first about it maybe getting that real. But we'll see how real it gets. See if he just looks at him as some little follower, Negro, ex-Negro who's still an ex, and, you know, not do anything, not even care, or jump behind it 100 and give him some Muhammad Ali treatment and get him back up again. And like you're saying, don't get caught guilty by association with certain people. Don't get caught. Don't get caught guilty by association. Because that is an anthem for the democracy right now. You have a final We Are Moors page to close out on?
Books upstairs. I just wanted to, could you just bring up something?
Oh yeah, well hit that then. Don't worry,
I'm going to add on.
They can get that another time. Yeah, go ahead, Moore.
Because if because Muhammad Ali, he was in the Nation of Islam, one of Malcolm X's close friends, Al-Haj, and he was in there deeply. But at his funeral, they threw a Moroccan flag on his hearse.
Yep. Nobody talk about that though.
I didn't hear nobody say, say anything about Muhammad Ali when that happened. Like, the Nation of Islam, they seen that. They seen it just like we saw it. Nobody made no videos about that, about him being Moroccan. Somebody, because if that wasn't the truth, why? And somebody had drew on there the Nation of Islam flag.
Say something.
Their banner.
Say something.
But they just licked the Moroccan flag because that they have to listen to that nation principle show. They have to lick that rock. They have to, because they know that man was a Moor.
Yeah.
You're gonna let somebody do not a USA corporate banner on his hearse, a Moroccan flag, the true American flag.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they threw on his hearse, but nobody, nothing. You're the only one I ever seen make a video of. Nobody, nothing. Nobody, nothing about that. Nothing about that.
Hmm. Yeah.
Muhammad Ali is supposed to be the man.
Yeah, I think that was one of the flagged ones.
Say that again?
I think that was one of the locked in some countries ones.
Oh.
Unless it's hiding in there somewhere. But yeah. Yeah. Give thanks more for adding on for the holy day today. You know, just giving the Moors a touch before we get into the hibernation for our 3 days. We just want to send a strong Islam to all the Moors. It stop manifesting time. Stay true to the cause. Make sure to stay true to the cause.
Read.
Islam to all the Moors in the chat. Islam to you, Brother Yusuf, once again.
Islam to you, Grand Sheik. Give thanks for your platform. Canaanland Moors, and to the Moors in the chat.
Islam, peace and love, Moors.